Ben Nevis is the highest mountain in the British Isles. At 1,345 metres, this is also the most popular mountain in Scotland, with over 125,000 visitors every year. So join me in today's adventure as I climb this special mountain in some of the best conditions I've ever had. Well, good morning guys, and welcome to another adventure today. And the plan for today is the big one, Ben Nevis, the highest mountain, not just in Scotland, but the whole of the UK. Now, it may not look very promising, I'm going to get any views here, but believe me, on the drive here I could see Ben Nevis, and it's currently clear at the top. It is full on winter conditions however, so I'm going to take it as it comes. No guarantee I'm going to get to the top. I've been up here a couple of times, you've maybe seen it in previous videos, but never via the mountain path or the old tourist path. I'll get into that discussion a bit later on. So anyway, time to get going up this big mountain. Ben Nevis, the way that I'm heading. Look at that, clearing already. I'm hoping the conditions stay good. I've had some rotten luck on my last few adventures, so yeah, I hope this makes up for it. Well, that's a good start to the day. Beautiful fog just lying in the glen there, in Glen Nevis. Yeah, closer look. Wow, didn't take long to get out of that. See, I told you the conditions were going to come good. I'm not saying anything about the summit yet though, because I seem to have a bit of a curse that if I think the conditions are going to be clear, then they turn out not to be. So yeah, fingers crossed for some good views at the top. Yeah, another fork in the path here. Gonna take a left. It's all uphill from here. So the route was pretty straightforward from here on this rocky path. I had to watch however, as it was quite icy on the rocks. What a beauty of a morning it's turned out to be. Just look at those views, and it's only going to get better and better the higher that I get. So I'm just at the halfway lock-in just now. Not quite sure if it's halfway or not, but I'm just taking in these views. Take a wee breather as well. Stunning sun and day. I'll show you the route ahead here, just in the shade still. It's going to take up here then zigzag. The snow line's about here. I have got crampons with me, which I think I'll need near the top. I actually wish I had micro spikes, as some of these rocks are really, really slippy. It's handy here, the path is well built, but the rocks get really slippery on the way up. So something I want to talk a little bit about is that the route I'm taking up Ben Nevis today is known as the mountain path. Now, it did used to be known as the tourist path. I think that doesn't really do it justice. as this is a proper mountain route, and as we'll see a bit higher up, the potential for snow pretty much 8 or 9 months of the year round is high. And yeah, it's not as straightforward as a tourist path may suggest, so I think that's why they changed it to the mountain path. I've never actually done this route before, as I've been up here twice before, once via the ledge route and then back down to Glen, no, the North Face car park, and then another time I done CMD, Ben Nevis, and again back to the North Face car park. So I've never actually come up that route I done there. It was pretty tough, didn't show you too much of it, but just zigzags up the face there. You get the idea. I think the good stuff is still to come. Nice little waterfall here, just to fill up your water bottle. You can also see the path that came up here, prominent zigzags up to the halfway lock. Don't know if I'm seeing this right. There's a big golden ball in the sky over there. I've not seen that in months. Oh, these views are getting better, as expected. Better and better the higher I go. That fog's just moving down there as the day goes on. These conditions are fantastic. Slightly cold if anything, but oh, what a day. Having so much fun up here. Hard to beat it when the views are like this. Wow. What a view already. As I got higher, things were getting quite wintry, and it wasn't bad on a day like today to navigate, but I could imagine if this was cloudy, this would be a whole different challenge. Getting there now, this is like winter wonderland. Look at these big trig point cairns here to keep me on the right path. Would be really handy in bad weather. Yeah, guess what? I'm actually sweating, I'm roasting, seeing when that sun's out. Nice and warm. But anyway, I'd say 15-20 minutes, I'll be at the top of the highest mountain in Scotland. Well, it looks like I made it to the highest mountain in Scotland. Wow, this is incredible. Now I'm going to go and touch the highest point here, as there's no one there just now. It's pretty quiet. Wow. I'll show you the views once I get to the plateau. So there's not actually too much at the top of Ben Nevis. The remains of the old observatory, which you can see beside me here. There's also a mountain shelter that's used for emergency. So after around 4 hours, I made it to the top of Ben Nevis. And what a view it was. It was relatively quiet too, with just a few people at the top. So this is the top of Ben Nevis, 1,345 metres high. the highest mountain, not just in Scotland, but the whole of the UK. And it translates to the venomous mountain. Probably the best conditions I've ever had up here. Cracking.
City again, if we know all the truth. Dark skies rise over your eyes, oh, leaving the living too late. You were a burn with pain in your lungs, now you'll be a memory.
Well, views don't get much better than this. The summit plateau of Ben Nevis. So many peaks. Cairngorms in the distance there. Not even too busy up here. The mountain shelters here. Wow. Emergency shelter here. If times were tough, then you could spend the night in here if you were stuck at the summit of Ben Nevis. So right now I must be the highest person in the UK. Well, this is epic. Some of the best views I've probably ever seen in Scotland on the highest mountain. Days in the hills don't get much better than this. From here I can see some big mountains. One of them was my final Munro. You can see it here, Carmore Jerrig, with the annex in the background. You can just about see the ski centre there, the ski slope. Wow, look at that for a view.
And savor the sun, it's the last you will see. One day she'll die in the sky and there won't be memories, and the fire will burn all the proof that we all have ever been. Oh, a place to have seen, a place to see.
So I could literally spend all day up here, but I'm going to have to make a decision to go down pretty soon, maybe 20 minutes. You can see the old observatory behind me there, not much left of the ruins now. Fun fact for you, there's actually been a Ford Model T, I think it was, made it to the top of Ben Nevis. But anyway, I'll show you some of these incredible views behind the camera. That is the whole of the Moors in pretty much one shot. Binion Beg, Binion Moor, Scuravame. 12 I think in total. I don't think I can name every single one just now. And even beyond that, so many Munros. It must be hundreds in the frame behind me there. I could sit and look at that all day, I honestly could. I haven't had conditions for this for a long time. All is forgiven for my last hike. That's crazy as to say. This is the Memorials here. I'm going to try and maybe pick out some in the background. The pointy cone of Ben Louis in the distance there, that's prominent. The rest, I can see the outline of Cruachan down there, and the Ballyhoolish Monroes in the distance over here. Conditions don't get much better than this, honestly. Not a breath of wind at the top of Ben Nevis, and totally clear. That's almost unheard of. So I'm going to take in these views for a little bit longer, and then I better make the long trudge back down.
And the ghosts all let him be. He cares for others so. Oh, the river shiver, he knows they deliver go.
Well, it's finally time to make a move from up here. I really don't want to, but I think 3 hours is going to take me into darkness to get down there. I mean, look at this. Paradise up here. I know I won't get conditions like this for a while, so yeah, I have to pull myself away from the top. But anyway, I'll give you a rundown of my day today on the way down. So the sun's beginning to set now, and I'm way below the snow line. Not gonna lie, I'm knackered. Feet are hurting with these winter boots on, and I've still got a long way to go. I'm just at the halfway lock. Nice sunset just happening in the background there, so I'll enjoy that on the way down, but I think it'll be near enough pitch black by the time I get to my van. But a rating for today, 10 out of 10, 11 out of 10 maybe. That was perfect. Views don't get much better than that, especially not on the highest mountain in Scotland. The amount of peaks you could see in the distance was spectacular. I met a lot of nice people up there. Ali was one, and Heather, both Monroe baggers just at the end of their Monroe journey, so good luck for your remaining Monroes. And yeah, nice to meet so many nice people on the way up here. A busy hill as expected. Probably a relatively quiet day for Ben Nevis. So anyway, that's going to be it for this adventure. I'm going to toddle on down the zigzags just down there to get to the bottom. So thanks for joining me on this adventure. Hope you enjoyed it. Ben Nevis in winter. I'll catch you in the next adventure.